Hello, everyone, and welcome back. And I just have one question. Have you ever waken up and been like, I just want to be an absolute menace? I want my opponents to weirdly have the worst time. And that's what we're doing today. We're playing Mill. We are going to look at their cards that are really cool and just tell them to put it into the graveyard. Obviously, we're kind of joking around a bit, but that is the theme of the deck today. So today we are playing primarily two cards of focus, which is Singularity Rupture, which is a new card kind of from Edge of Eternities. Destroy all creatures. Then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. And then you combine that with River Churn Monument, which has an exhaust ability on it from Aether Drift, a set that, quite frankly, a lot of players I talk to don't really know it exists other than stock up from there. But exhaust any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. So we can make them do half, and then we do half again. It's kind of similar to our combo with Unstoppable Slasher and the Demon, where, you know, the Slasher hits them for half and then it gets doubled. It's kind of the idea here. But we have a lot of things to support us. We have a pretty heavy removal pack and 2 Heartless Acts and 2 Shoots of Sheriffs, but that's also comboed with a massive amount of board wipes. We have 8 to 11, plus this can maybe duplicate those. And then we have Duress to lighten the hand before we do that, and Into the Flood Maul to bounce weird permanents that matter to us. And obviously good, consistent draw and consult star charts and stock up. So with that said, let's go ahead and mill some players. Okay, well, I have to have some imagination. This hand's way too slow, so we'll maul that one away. Keep Rupture is good, but I think the problem is it's 1 more mana than our Deadly Cover-Up. We're already on a maul, so requiring 3 lands and our opponent not to put us in the ground is obviously a bit tougher. Maybe the rest is good, maybe the rest is bad. That's not the only spell. It'd be really bad for us. 1 damage to any target draw card. River Regent, Burst Lightning. Okay. Honestly, I kind of want to take their card draw away, but that's a pretty expensive card. So I'm going to take Burst Lightning. Like, for 1 damage and a draw for 2 mana. Pretty okay by our rate, right? Like, saves us time. Don't really want to consult here, so I'd rather just play my Shockland. Going to be what I would imagine is a little bit of a harder matchup here. If they're just straight up sending spells upstairs. Don't know what we do to stop them, right? And only drawing lands is never going to help here, right? Tanking a little, supposedly. Kind of just letting that resolve, you know? Kind of baiting that we have a counter spell, even though we have nothing but air. Obviously, we have looks, but just blue-red burn prowess nonsense. Maybe force him to use more mana here. Although that now allows them to play confidently. They don't have to play scared of a counterspell. It's okay. What are they doing? At 12. You're good. Nice, I guess. Not that worried. Okay. You have to think. You have to think. Always kind of appreciate when somebody's like, I'm thinking, I promise. You know, like, it's a weird turn. So we do get them to kind of use this. Which is nice for us. Okay. Bad that their life total was much more than that. Well, What a weird spot. Thing is, if they had creatures, I'm still losing this game, right? Because I'm doing nothing. Sure. It's actually really good for us if that's the outcome of this turn. First burst, playful, lightning, slag. Difference between this and a burst lightning, I'd be at 8. Matters in terms of 4 damage spells. Does require 2 of these and a burst lightning. For another 2 damage spell. Stock up seems like a hard choice. Like just a pass here. Oh. No. Time explosion. Duress is actually an incredible pickup here. So we can maybe monitor, hopefully, that we're not cooked here. We have exactly 10. Okay. Well, I don't have to worry about that. Burst lightning is kickable, and that's the most damage here. So we take burst lightning. Go here. I don't think we can mill them fast enough, unfortunately. If player has... Target player has... Okay. So there's not a way that they're going to get us to gain life, so this card is effectively dead. It could River Regent. Talk both these back into my hand, I guess. Good ill time to draw. They're still playing around the fact that we have a counter spell, which is obviously great for us. So holding up mana every turn has been nice. Gonna put more cards in their graveyard. We honestly, I think, can... over the next 2 turns, we can double barrel them here. I think they'll be tapped out. They have 10. This is going to put... This will put them at 11. We'll put them to 13, 15, and then have exhausting capabilities. We'll go to 26. Yeah, definitely have enough here. Okay, the Black Sun, not really going to get us anywhere. I have enough to stock up, right? And exhaust one of these? Yes. Another land. Okay, so we have to hope at 9 we're fine. Pretty much is what we're at. And then we have to mill their whole library. Or mill them, and then arrest them, and then mill them again. Because we have to make sure that in response to drawing, they can't win. Right? We do half. What their library is. Obviously, by all means, we could get trounced here. If they tap out, they're looking to deal 3 and deal 3 and then have enough is what they're looking to do. Pretty much. Looking to lightning strike me. Then they're looking to be able to do 6 with that last draw on the stack. We just have to hope this duress is good enough. Okay, well, they won't get to this. They won't get the rest of this, so we just take a lightning strike because it's a sorcery. They'll have to draw. Yep. Then there should be enough to get there. 35, obviously. Game, I believe. Turn. I don't know if Arena's supposed to do that. Maybe Arena knows the math, but you can definitely stop on your upkeep before you draw a card to do it. So, obviously they didn't end up having enough anyway, but we ended up getting there against a burn deck, which is weird, but we didn't have any creatures for them to interact with, which make their cards awkward. Okay, we go first here. Very cool. Keep. We have a Flood Maul. If it matters, Day of Black Sun to wipe the board. Hopefully get to these. Keeping 2 of these is a bit questionable, I guess, but I almost passed my turn. That would have been embarrassing. Stock up's pretty good. White, Scavenger, sure. There, sure. We're just going to try to interact with this. It is only 1 mana, so... Can probably force them to play their turn a little weird next turn. Yeah, Black Sun's obviously going to be our saving grace coming up. Unless you control basic land. Okay. I had to just make sure it wasn't anything weird. Probably grab... Although this is good, it's probably grab Black Sun in another land, right? Just in case on the miss. If we have to dig for the card, we just dig for it. I assume we're going to see like Scavenger plus some cards. Obviously, could be a lot, could be nothing. Sure. Now we'll get to Day of Black Sun this. Not really lose too much life. 15, obviously pretty low, but definitely been in much worse spots. These are the matchups, right? If these are the matchups we can't win, then why are we playing the deck, in my opinion, you know? My opponent is walking into 3 board wipes. Sure. Obviously, overcommitting, you know? It's not overcommitting from their perspective, right? But it is from ours because we know what we have in hand. But that's the best time to do it for them. Like... Oh, they just used the board wipe. Let me play out everything and try to get there very quickly. And here, once again, is another good spot to do it. Little they know, I just have 3 more board wipes in hand. There is literally 0 they can do. I'm so sorry. It's just over. Just wait. Half's only 12. So that comes in. Sure. Draw, then discard. Awesome. Filter by Ghost obviously does nothing. Didn't do anything the last turn. So, not really a chance to go do anything this turn. Get rid of that. This is only for 1. Back up. Sure. The flash creature, we're good. Yeah, I'm saying, there's nothing they can do. That is the matchup we are looking for. Mono white, a very high win rate deck on the ladder, so this should be a matchup we run into quite consistently, as long as Arena doesn't have their way with us. But with that, we move on. Opponent's first. We'll try to keep this. We'll see. The animator. We don't know if Reanimator guaranteed. The Day of the Black Sun doesn't seem like a card I really am willing to just toss away. Although most likely it's Reanimator. But used to know. Odd eye, says me. It's Reanimator. At some point randomly, we'll probably be able to stick this and just mill their whole library, which would be good. Weird. Okay. Could play this, but that just seems crazy. I don't think we're playing this until we're ready to just win with it. We have to make sure we play this basic first so this doesn't enter tapped. Heartless Act is good. We could go for Consult here, but maybe that's wrong. Pretending we have Counterspell might be best move. To really get a grip here, you know? I almost want to just pop this, but I just think it's not worth it. A little part of me wants to Consult, but I think it's also bad. Maybe I should have. Second monument is not what we're looking for right now, that's for sure. Huh? So surveil, a lot of lands, a lot of nothing. So this is where Day of the Black Sun can come in. We can just like maybe pop both of these, put them in. Oh, well, there's a bringer. But I do, it's weird because I do have to get to Deadly Cover-Up mana, right? Or like Deadly Cover-Up worth of stuff in my graveyard. Go here, pass it up. Obviously, if they go for the bringer, we win on that trade pretty hard. Will they really do anything? Obviously, I'll just keep taking my damage. Although it doesn't necessarily feel the best. Where something like Deadly Cover-Up's awesome. We could then duress if we wanted to. We do need to get Deadly Cover-Up online now. Grab a duress. Because if we can Deadly Cover-Up, take their bringers out of the deck, then we're looking pretty okay. Press. Okay. It might just go for it regardless. Their hand kinda wouldn't get us to it though. Right? If I monument here and mill us, we have a way better chance. In the turn. I thought about just casting this for 2, but then our black mana would be tapped, and that wouldn't be good. Sure. Overlord. That's an okay sign. Well, they know to bring... Well, even if they do, it won't matter now. I might just take these if that works. Here. Okay. We hit. That will do it. I'm leaving this, actually, I think, right? No, I can't. They have too many of them. Which is okay. I'm just clicking literally everything. Need those bringers. One out of their hand, one left in there. Because the thing is, they still have Arden, right? That's why I was like, you know, honestly, I'd much rather take this. Just not gonna be able to though, unfortunately. Now we just have to hope that they don't have it. It's obviously probably hitting Overlord. Again, Arden is now the other threat. On the 14 cards. Okay. Sure. How do I lose if I singularity rupture them? I do this, it's half. Lose 15. But then they're able to reanimate Arden, and then with 3 mana, if they play another creature and it's Terror of the Peaks. I should have looked. I didn't even look if they played Terror of the Peaks, to be honest. I guess the other play is just as risky, right? Oh yeah, they got the Terrors in there. But the thing is, with Arden, I don't know. I can't think of a 3-mana card. If they do Arden, bring back Terror. Or, yeah, they bring back Arden, which then brings back Terror. It's me for 4. What 3-mana creature they play that wins, right? Oh, wait, the demon's a 5/5. Why did I think the demon was a 4/4? You have a thing with 3 toughness? Or 3 power? Definitely could. No way. They did. Oh boy, I punted that, huh? Any creature at random, bro. Come on. A 3-mana creature. Never mind. I didn't realize it was going to be Analyzed Pollen. I thought they had another one of these. I was like, dude, it's just literally anything. But the rest are in their graveyard. I don't see... That's not enough. That is not enough. Wait. They messed up with Analyzed Pollen. Right? Analyzed Pollen, you can over-exile. I'm not mistaken on that, right? I'm pretty sure with Analyzed Pollen, which is what they cast, they could have exiled their entire graveyard. Right? Collect Evidence 8? Because if you noticed, because this is Collect Evidence, right? Yeah, if you notice, we just exiled all of our cards and we did the land and everything. I'm pretty sure you can over exile. And they just, wow. Yeah, I still think I did it wrong. I think that gives them an out. I think I'm supposed to just do this and then play a second one and do it. But if they had the Analyzed Pollen, they could have played around it regardless, I guess. So that sucks, but it is what it is. Kind of guessing we'll hit a land, which is nice that we do. Seeing this makes me scared to duress them because I feel like it's just going to miss. It doesn't. Oh, yo, cook, king. Nice. Genuinely, like, nice strat, bro. The lands I didn't even realize weren't available to turn Badger Mole Cub on, which is kind of funny. So let's just slam the monument. We rip a land. It's likely we want to deadly cover up, but you go for Weaver here. Okay. Land stock up. We just have to let it go for a turn. We need to grab this swamp. Then it's probably a way to find cards. And it's probably Soul to Star charts if I had to guess. I'm assuming, unless they hit a land. Okay, they can do something really cool here if they want to. That's what they're doing. So they can sacrifice this land, and another land will come in, which will have this land technically enter untapped, which is really weird and unique. Do you see it? Enters untapped here. Sure. Go haste, right? It's a good land to pick up. So creatures you control get 1/0 in haste, which means this is hitting me for 8. And Roxanne's just like a lethal hit. Sure. One way to do it. They won't have another land. I mean, they get to do this regardless, right? Siege is definitely the card that I would have targeted in their hand if I saw it the first time. Obviously, we got Season of Weaving out of there, but yeah, this is going to crush. It's how much? 4 or less. Sure. Well, I guess we have to just bait that we have counter spell, which we don't. I mean, we're just dead to Roxanne here, I think. I'm just gonna let him do it. Cause yeah, I'm just dead here. Weird way to go. If this was like normal Badger Mole Cub decks, I think I'd be fine. But pretty sure we don't have like counter magic here. Yeah, we're just dead to Roxanne. We have to look for just normal. If shoot the sheriff into the flood maw. Even look. 5. I get shot here. 2. Worst part is I kind of have to let them just swing Roxanne at me. If I respond too early, then they get to do this. Sure. Okay. This is in exile, so I can't even touch it here. This is definitely the play I would go for. Okay. Huh? Sure. Huh? Yep. Nothing I can do here. Has to be like 2 flood malls. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess. One of these matchups, Heartless Act is going to be butt cheeks, but trying our best. Play at tapped, play island, go into here. Okay. Well, a second Heartless Act, it feels like I'm supposed to just pop the Landwar Elves in. Badger Mole Cub, where are you? There he is. No, it's Landwar Elves. I was like, there he is. All right, with that, we go for stock up. Rest is probably bad. I do lose to Ouroboros here, I guess. I just gotta hope this way. I mean, we had to get. I mean, 3 of those cards were non-lands, so we weren't even guaranteed. Badger Mole Cub, Ouroboros is pretty tough. Remember what I talked about? This doing nothing. All it's going to do is remove counters. For 2. Second Cub? Okay. Well, me taking the tap land now sucks so bad. Sure. No. 6, 7. No. 3, 6. It's 9, 10. It's 10 mana sitting here. I almost like threw my hands. It's just we had a buddy at the shop. We were playing, and we kept doing math. It just kept working out where 6, 7 was being said, and their significant other was not happy. They were so mad. It was so funny. Going to 8. That's Raider Hoof, right? Okay. Five, and there's only 1 creature? Sure. I'm gonna show you some tech here, by the way. Ready for the tech? Everybody's like, oh, you should take Badgermole Cub. What if we take Breeding Pool? So they get no lands back. Fun. They'll try to come back and they're gone. Deadly Cover Up doesn't allow it. Now they have 2 mana. And of course they would rip a Cub. Because why not? Because why not? Oh boy, that's really funny. It doesn't matter objectively here, but still quite funny. Still a little annoying, but it's still quite funny. But yeah, we just take their lands away, and then a card like Ouroboros just not able to pop off. Yeah, we'll keep. Let's surveil here. Land good. Land's good. Opponent bad. Bad opponent. Bad opponent. Opponent hates fun. I'm playing mill, dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. No free loot for you. Shit. Interesting. Right, I could play a creature. Could be a Spell Pierce. Or I may never know. It wasn't, by the way. One card's so good against this, though. The Artist Talent. And, nothing. Dick. Going here. If they don't answer this right away, then I get to, like, consult twice, which seems good. Like the rebound stays. 2. You have another lesson to bend? They do. Okay. Fair enough. Good. Nice. You're killing it. Look. It's all good. I'm going to get rid of the annoying card. We just need time in this match. Fortunately. I don't know why I left the Fountain Port there. I should have got rid of it. Land draw pretty high chance here, so we're just gonna do this. It misses. Instead of a land, they hit 3rd and 4th Abandoned Attachment, and it doesn't seem by my opponent's reaction going to be a land here either. Okay, we hit 3rd and 4th one of these. Dude, when Arena's mad at you, bro. Arena can be mad at you. Come on, obviously you have to play a land here, right? 3rd Grand? Sure. Obviously, if I can remove Grand when it has the reduction cost on it, I'm going to. Last thing I want them to do is just be able to turn over and over and over and over here. That's the 3rd copy, but based on, the abandoned attachments, they might have the 4th. If they even play it. A lot of times they just don't play the 4th. The Wisdom is a card we're just not going to be able to beat here. We're just going to have to deal with. But they could be playing a Braid, which could pop our monuments at any point. It's something we do have to be aware of. Here. Would like a land? Sure. Feels like a weird time to respond. Guess if you think I'm playing counter spells. Oftentimes we just don't. We want land consult here or land floodmont? No, we want consult. We want cards. We want half our opponent's library is what we want. They do have 15 cards in there though. At some point this is going to hit our board wipe, right? $16. Deal. So like that wins us the game. We do that, then play it, and then do it again. Deal. Yeah. We're already in the business of hoping our opponent's a creature-based deck, so this seems like the hand to keep, right? Well, one more. That helps. Maybe. If they're part of some evil plot to end me. I feel like with these many board wipes and stuff, Heartless Act is not a card that we're wanting to attach ourselves to. As of right now, let's play this tapped. Really need to get too crazy about it. Seeing Fable Passage typically means Simic. Badgermole Cub style deck. Island. Okay. My opponent's a bit spicy. Okay. Sure. These are buns. So. What is this? Pass? I don't know. Could maybe go for the land, but. Waiting. Sure. One of these should be used. Free demo fielding here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So tough here, right? Because we want to have the land. Well, thankfully, I have all this removal to be playing against blue-white control. Typically how that goes. You have a fistful removal and you're just sitting here. I will kicker this. And demo me again, I guess. Choose not to this time. Stock up. Got plenty of cards to get rid of in this match, so we just... Okay. Sure. We also haven't revealed to them at all that we're, like, graveyard here. But them using a flanker is quite funny. So, establish this. Now, they've used a flanker, and I have the monument. Obviously, there's ways they can remove my monument, but hopefully they can't. Now they're stock upping, because maybe they learned that was a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, they're just hard blue-white. Which does help us a bit more than if they were Jeskai, because we'd be a lot more worried about our life total. When we can have time in one of these online, it just helps out so much, right? And we don't have to worry about Shiko. Unless, by all means, surprise me. Go ahead. I'm going to start activating this. Tideminder, I suppose. Here. 2 cards at a time. For eternity. It's me and you, opponent. For the rest of time. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. Bonded over something. It's not great. You're gonna consult the star charts. I might consult the star charts. You have a flanker. I don't want you to have flankers. Team rip. Now that's just rude. Here. Lie there. Daddy's coming for you. Don't you worry. We're on our way. We will find you one day. I'm gonna tap out. No? Okay. We haven't used one, right? No. Okay. They're at 14. I can sneak attack them. Let it go. Interesting. Okay. They're just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And I get it. It's so weird when your cards are just... I don't want to say that their cards that they're playing objectively are bad. They're just so bad against mill. Because if you counter this, well, I have 6 cards in my hand. I'm going to draw a 7th, right? So, okay, you counter it. Now I do something weird with like Into the Flood Maul to bounce your Seam Rip. Well, now you got to counter that, right? Or do you have another answer? No? You don't? Okay, then what do you do? And it's just this weird... I've been on both sides of this, and blue-white, every time I'm playing it, you're constantly in your 3rd, 4th, and 5th options of what you would do with your spells other than the 1st and 2nd, because it's just weird. Like, normally, you might not counter a random, like... Consult, because you're like, well, I don't want to go in their turn and have free access to do whatever they want. They have a lot of cards in hand. Well, now you have to. Or Into the Flood Maul that bounces your Seam Rip. You're like, well, I don't really care. I could play it again. Well, not really, because then you get milled for, what, another... I think they have 14 in their graveyard. I know you can't see because of my webcam, but Leave the Match is highlighted over it anyway, so you can't see it regardless. But what, 4, 8, 12, 14? Yeah. So this comes back, put another 14 in there of your 33, right? And now you have way less cards to play with, and it just sucks. Like, I get it. I definitely do. It's so hard. Okay, so here we are with the mill deck, and it is definitely better than I would ever predict it to be, because the first thing I saw when I was looking at this is how are we not playing like a Misrise Village, right? Because against control matchups, it's just so weird. But the thing is you play so much good cards that control oftentimes feels the need to counter it. For example, like a Console or a Stock Up is oftentimes you got to be countered. Or you can put pressure on with a Fountain Port or something like that. You don't necessarily need it, but I still think at some point I would probably trim one island to play a Misrise Village, even if that land enters tapped. I don't know if that land entering tapped is such a cost that, like, it's no different than a Surveil land for tap land. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's been tried and it's just not worth it. But I feel like sometimes in those control matchups, it just has to be okay to do that so you can have a Singularity Rupture. But maybe you're just so good against it anyway, it doesn't matter. I haven't played it enough to really give a true honest opinion about that, because the other argument's like, well, dummy, just hold up with the rest and then do it. Or... you know, on their end step, consult the star charts. And if they counter that and you're free to go, like, don't really try to risk that if you don't have to until you have a monument to establish. It's just this really weird thing. We're not really a counterspell deck, you know, so we're just kind of sitting there waiting for it to all happen. And something like a Deadly Cover-Up can be really annoying as well, I guess, because sure, they don't have anything on board. But, you know, let's say we collect evidence this and we search Google their counterspells. Well, now they can't do it anyway, right? So it's a bit weird. It's just weird all around, and that's okay. But it did work a lot better than I thought. I do think over the long course of games, you will definitely most likely play against more creature decks than anything else. And that's where you're obviously favored. You just get to constantly blow things up. There is a couple of decks, I think like the one we saw where it was just like Teamer anti-us. Like, it felt so weird. They all had haste. We're not able to play a card like Authority, and they just, for 4 mana, hit me for 8, which is really good, and then drew a card, and then put a land into play, and then Roxanne us. It was a wild time. We're just not able to get there fast enough. We didn't have like a Rupture online with a Monument in play, so it was just weird. Although, with all I said, it does feel good. It does feel like a deck that can get a very high win rate, as though it did. I think it was like 70-some% from Plat to Mythic. 5 players played mill a lot. I have typically I typically get frustrated when I play against Mill, to be quite honest, because anytime I do, I'm just, like I said, in that control matchup, I always find myself on that side instead of being like, man, I really wish I was, able to hit my opponent with anything, kind of like the burn player was. But fortunately, we got there against them. But realistically, I think we lose that more times than not. They just have like a good burn hand. So with that said, I hope you all enjoyed regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.